Hello and welcome to the Melanated Veteran Podcast. I'm your host, Miss Mesha, and before we begin, the first order of business is to always share, like, and subscribe to the Melanated Veteran on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to check us out on www.themelanatedveteran.com. So my guest today is someone who I have known for a while. I actually met him at my first command, and we just kind of kept in touch. He is a actor. He is a I'll say recording agent. He's looking into sports agency, or he's actually doing sports agency right now. Please welcome Mr. EC Garner.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, thank you so much for doing
Thank you for
this.
being here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for doing this and taking the time because I know you're a busy man. Um, so let's get started. So a little bit about you. So I know you're still in.
Yes.
What branch are you in, and how long have you been in?
So, I've been blessed to be in the Navy for about 24 years. So, November will be 24 years for me, and I'll be walking out the door, a retired Chief Petty Officer, United States Navy. So, uh,
Congratulations.
yeah, been a long road,
Right?
uh, you know, but I was able to, put those coveted khakis on and be able to, help people out and make some change. And, now it's time for me to fully, integrate myself back into civilian life. So, I look forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. So what made you decide to go into the Navy?
So, I was, for lack of incriminating myself, I always tell people I was a not so good person.
Mm.
And I can tell you that uh, all the signs were around me saying that I needed to make a change. I'd seen a partner of mine get killed along with some of his kids.
Oh wow.
I recently had a son, um,
Mm.
and I had a dream, an actual dream that, if you believe in divine intervention, I believe it was divine intervention that
Mm.
that landed me in the Navy. I had a dream that I was running from a car. It was a brown tan Cutlass. In every block I was on, this brown tan Cutlass, would roll down the window, and I would have a triple beam on my chest.
Mm.
And something in my dream kept telling me, "You're not going to make it through the summer."
Oh
Right?
wow.
And the only thing I kept replying back is, "I want to see my son grow up and
Mm.
become a man." And every time I ran, I was running so hard. Every time I ran, that voice would be like, "You're not going to make it through the summer." And my reply would be, "I want my son. I want to see my son grow up." And in my dream, I finally made it to my house.
Mm.
I made it to my house, and I was preparing to go to sleep, and I turned on the TV in my dream, and I remember seeing a Navy commercial in my dream. And in my dream, but the crazy part about it is, when I woke up out of my dream, I turned on my TV, and the first thing that was on TV was a Navy commercial.
Hold up. So as soon as you woke up from your dream, having a
Yeah,
dream about being in the Navy, a commercial for the Navy, you
came
woke
on.
up and saw another commercial for the Navy.
And that was my way out of my position. Now, to further let you know about divine intervention,
Hmm.
I went down there on a Tuesday morning. Now, mind you, if you had told me the day before I see your future, tomorrow you're going to join the Navy, I'd have told you was crazy. But because of that dream, it caused me to wake up, go right down down there just to see what it was about. I took my little ASVAB test, right? And the crazy part about it was, he was like, "You're qualified. Let's talk." I signed up for a job. The next day, I was down at MEPS. He took me down there. Well, okay, so let me rewind real quick. So after I passed my test and did all the other stuff, we talked about a job. And so he told me that the next bunch of people were leaving in August. Now this was June. The next bunch of people were leaving in August. So the crazy part about it was, I was like, I can't. I have to get out of here now. Because of my dream. I'm not going to survive during the summer. I've got to get out of here now. Is there any way? And he was like, "Can you leave Friday?"
Oh, wow.
I dropped everything that I have. Gave away a lot of stuff. I literally walked through those doors with, I remember, a pair of Timbs, some jeans, a baseball jersey that had Boss on it. It wasn't really a baseball team. And a white T-shirt. And that's all I took with me. That's it.
Wow.
So all the rest is pretty much, going to MEPS, swearing in, all the other stuff, and then going to the little hotel that they send you to. And then everybody riding out. So that was the next couple days. And if I had came in on Wednesday, I'd have missed that date. So that further let me believe that I was supposed to do that when I did it.
That is that's nothing but God. Nothing but divine intervention but God.
Yeah,
wow.
Right. So this whole career, and you know as well as I know, there's been some ups and downs and some crazy stuff, but overall, it has been a blessing. It has helped me to grow. It has helped me to find certain things in my life that I need in order to move forward.
Okay.
So
what are some...
and even the bad things define you. So it's been an experience.
Right. So what are some highs and lows of your career?
So my highs, wow. Just getting to travel and see the world, like going to places. Like I was stationed in Hawaii. That's where I met you. Hawaii for 14 years. And who from the ghetto to go to Hawaii, let alone live there for 14 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of the say again.
I said right.
yeah. And so that was like, that was like a dream. Then going to Dubai and places like only rich people get a chance to go to. Going to some places that some of the most beautiful waters are, and going diving and just being in places that you just never thought you would be. Going to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You know what I mean? Just being able to do that. And then the people. The people have the ability to either make the job hard or the job wonderful.
Right.
And I've been both of those places. So those things that are really, really, now there are some dark areas in the Navy that I feel, and I had a situation with a person a little bit ago, maybe it was on deployment, where when all the Black Lives Matter things were going on, and I don't ever blame anybody for their views,
right?
Because like it or not, we are all products of our environment. So I'm a product of my environment. They're a product of their environment. They believe how they believe because of their environment in which the way they grew up.
Right.
I believe how I believe because of my environment. I did the things that I did because of my environment. So at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters, because all we are is products of our environment. We suffer from the same things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hating people also comes with a great burden on your shoulder, because you've got to be able to maintain that. And I'm telling you, that is a hard road to follow. And it causes people great anxiety, mental illness, things like that, because you can see the things that come out of their mouth, the irrational moves that they make. Normal people don't do that. So my whole thing is they are products of their environment. And hate carries a way bigger cross than love. It carries, shouldn't say cross, but weight. Carries way more weight than love. It's heavy. And it causes you to be a certain type of way and that causes, a lot of people to act outside of their normal characters. And then they have to maintain it. It's kind of like maintaining a lie. Once you tell a lie, you always got to tell a lie.
Right.
To cover it up.
You have to tell a lie to tell a lie to cover up a lie to tell a lie to
yeah. So those are the things. So the reality of, has the Navy really changed? In some aspects, yes. But in certain aspects, no. I think I hit the guy with a dose of reality. Where I told him, everybody's kind of upset that they're ordering people to do diversity training. And so I said, do you really think the Navy has grown as much as you think it has? So we're sitting down in the Chief's mess talking. And he said, yes. Look at you. You're a chief. You do this. I said, yes, I am. Right? I said, but do you still see where most of the little brothers and little sisters are? They're still in jobs of servitude. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, how many people in your shop that are black? I've got black people in the shop. That's not what I asked you. I said, how many? So that's when he started to get upset. Because now the truth started to set in, right? So he said, I got 2. I was like, okay. So in the mech shop, how many blacks are in the mech shop? There's black. No, that's not what I'm asking you. How many? So out of 32 people in the mech shop, there's 2. But then I pointed to the mess kitchen, and I pointed back there where the cooks and the people are. How many black people are over there? How many white people you see there? That's when he got his tray and left.
Wow.
And there was another individual that tried to say something about ASVABs and all this other stuff, scoring and all this other stuff. And I said, that don't make sense to me. Because what you're trying to tell me is the majority of the minorities cannot pass an ASVAB test with a certain score. Is that what you're saying now? See, and they don't think about that before they say things. Right? They just rather just disavow it's not happening. That's what's happening in the world today, right? People rather ignore it, with the critical race theory and all that other stuff. People rather ignore it rather than address it. If you address it, that's when changes happen.
Right.
If you ignore it, no change happens.
Right. And then you can just block it out. Yeah. Like, oh, nope, it didn't happen. Nope,
exactly.
Didn't happen.
And that's what they're doing today. And it's happening all across the board, where they feel like if they don't talk about it, it erases. But now, see, here's the deal. You see how they're trying to get rid of the past. We don't need to make kids feel guilty about what happened with their forefathers, which is true. A kid shouldn't have to bear that cross, right?
But they need to know.
They need to know, because you know why? You have to know what's bad and what's good. If you don't know what's bad,
you're going to repeat it. Think about what's happening right now. Dr. Martin Luther King died for us to have the right to just be equal to everybody else. That means voting rights, being able to protest rights, all this other stuff. He died. A lot of them came out when the BLM was happening with the protests and everything,
and was saying, Dr. Martin Luther King wouldn't approve of people, breaking windows and rioting and stuff like that. And he probably wouldn't have. But then you have to understand how he died, right? He was nonviolent, but died violently. So now, when people talk about rioting and looting and stuff like that, I'm telling you, we have learned that violence begets more violence. The Bible talks about violence begets more violence. If you treat somebody violently, what are you expecting back? Right? You can't expect anything less than that back. So when people loot, when people riot, I'm not saying it's right, but think about how Dr. Martin Luther King died. He died violently. So when people get violent, then you want to bring up how nonviolent he was, but the people who committed the violence have no regrets. So there's a lot of double-edged swords here. Think about, what we just celebrated, the Tulsa Massacre, right? Where hundreds of African Americans died, at the hand of violence for living their lives. No, I don't think the white kids should have to bear that. But at the same time, they need to understand that's not right. Think about the voter suppression laws that are happening now.
Right.
The voter suppression laws that are happening now. What do you think the future is going to look upon that, you know what I mean, when the future is here?
Right.
Are you going to try to cover that up too?
Right.
So stop doing things that you consistently have to cover up. and that's the whole thing with critical race theory, is to have people to think about, okay, in the future, am I going to have to, or are my kids going to have to explain this?
Right. Because
the bill always comes due. The bill always comes due.
I'm glad that I'm glad that you were able to, educate. You're still educating people.
Yes.
Especially, in the Navy, and you could have dropped them that knowledge to him too, like everything when it comes to racism is something that you'll repeat it if you're not careful. You'll repeat it.
Yeah. And then it's something you're going to have to explain in the future. Think about it. The Capitol riot. Yeah, Black Lives Matter people looted and rioted. But we ain't trying to take over and kill the democracy that this country was founded on. Right? Those are two totally different things. But what they're trying to do is blur the lines and make them the same thing. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing at all. When you try to overturn the Constitution of the United States, that is acts of being a traitor. You have betrayed your country based off the foundation of your country. What it was built on.
It's interesting because a lot of times people, they don't want to talk about this.
No, they don't. And it's a touchy subject.
It is. And you're one of the types of people I knew having you come on here on my show was, I knew you got like, you drop knowledge, and you have to drop knowledge. And I think it's good that once, I know we've talked, and you were saying like that you becoming a sports agent, and you dealing with recording artists, it's a good thing to see more black men in those positions, plus you having a backup once you get out of the military. Like you
Yeah.
knowing that you have a structure that you know what you're going to do when you get out.
Yes. Yes. And it's always good to have a plan. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I always tell, the young brothers in the military, it's fine and dandy that you're going to get out. It's fine and dandy that you're going to go to school. It's fine and
Mm-hmm.
dandy. But what I would like to see is us change our mindset
Mm-hmm.
on what life is, on what life is about, on we have to break generational poverty that falls on
Mm-hmm.
us. Think about it. We've come out of slavery, our land taken, or we didn't get any, from the
Mm-hmm.
government when we were released. So we had nothing. Now we had some free black people, you know, but at the same time, what did they really have? There was only a couple of them that actually had, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about a group of people who weren't really allowed to really learn and go to school, or really learn how to build wealth, or how to, you know what I mean? We're
Mm-hmm.
This is our real first and second generation that we're figuring this stuff out,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's important to the game.
It is.
Because if you think about it, think about business owners. And this is
Mm-hmm.
why I always talk to the people about, if you're going to go to school, it's all fine and dandy that you get your degree and you want to go work for somebody. But why not get your degree and start your own business?
Mm-hmm.
You control your own destiny. So when you work, there's a cap, a salary cap that you get, right? And that's all you're going to make. If you work for yourself, you control as much or as less as you want to make.
Mm-hmm.
Why not have that type of power? So when you go to school, minor in business along with whatever else you're doing. Get it done. Because this is the wave of our future. We're getting smarter on stocks. We're getting smarter on investments and things like that, and realty and stuff like that. Like these are the narratives that need to be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to be a sports star. It's okay to be a rapper, a musician, but are we only limited to that?
Right.
You feel me? We need to do a better job of uplifting, our doctors,
Mm-hmm.
our lawyers, our senators, our people in politics, our people, and let people know, look, I mean, we had our first half black president.
Mm-hmm.
So people can do that, right? We're more than just rappers and athletes.
Absolutely.
The thing about it is certain people love nothing more than to tell you to shut up and do your dance
And
and don't worry
dribble.
about what's going on over here. Or shut
Mm-hmm.
up and dribble the ball and don't worry about
Mm-hmm.
politics. What does that mean?
Right.
So we have to become these things. We have to become intellectuals. Think about Michelle Obama and Barack. They're lawyers. They're some of the most talented lawyers to ever even hit the lawyer scene. That's why nobody could mess with him. That man had over 5,000 lawsuits against him. And none of them could touch him. Because that's a bad man. Michelle Obama, that's a bad woman.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing. Remember when all those guys got around and thought they were going to talk mess about her? And then she killed them with her intellect. Do you know they ain't never really said anything else about her after that? They knew they were outclassed. Kamala Harris. When debated Mike Pence, they were supposed to have another debate. But she was so intellectual and made him look so bad that they knew they could not put him back on TV with her. Intelligence, intellect. That's who we are.
Yeah.
It takes
And that's
nothing
who
more
people.
to look at the long list of accomplishments and inventions that black people have done. We're talking on a phone right now. Cellular phone technology was invented by a brother. He just passed away in 2018.
Wow.
The whole world would not have cellular phone technology if it was not for him. Stoplights, elevators, 5-stage rockets.
So much.
Things
much.
Things that we have used to go to outer space. Things we have used to bring law and order. Things we have used for communications. You know, all around the world. This is who we are as a people. Go back earlier. We are credited. The Africans are credited with civilization, with mapping out the stars. How you think Christopher Columbus got his map? That map just didn't exist for no reason.
Right.
He took a wrong turn on that map because he didn't know how to read it.
Right.
That's how he ended up here.
But you know, whenever and again, whenever I talk with you, I always love you bringing up for us what us as blacks have accomplished. You know, and how much more that we can accomplish, and that's one thing that I've always appreciated when talking with you. And you know, this isn't going to be the last time that I have you on my show, because I want people to appreciate what we've done.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
First off, I mean, we couldn't have done anything without God, but seeing what He's done, like where He's got us from, and where He's continuing to continue to go. So that I always appreciate. And knowing you, we could sit here and talk all night about everything that comes to blacks. But again, it's having to do with do your research, educate yourself, and know your worth. Know what your worth is.
And we are kings and queens.
We are.
You know, that is our birthright. That is who we are. You know, and we have to start to conduct ourselves as such, because you know, your mind goes first, and then everything else follows. You know, if you truly believe you're a king and queen, you will start to act accordingly. You will start to. It's easy to say, "I'm a black king. I'm a black queen," but if you don't even know what that entails, that's talking. Think about kings and queens. Kings and queens were considered deity. Kings and queens were considered to be the smartest people in the land. They had the best education. They had the best everything. So what does that mean? You learn. You become a student. You know, now you can be intellectual. You know, now you can be intelligent. And that's where we need to be back at. You know, it's okay to let your hair down on the weekends and do what you do, but at the same time, your life cannot be dictated by that. Because that only lasts but for a short time.
Amen.
You know, so, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. You know, I know we kind of got off the little beaten path.
No, but that's okay. You know, honestly, again, this is one reason that I wanted you on here, is because I knew you were going to go a little bit on a different path, but I appreciate that you did. Because dropping knowledge, and about who we are is important. So that I appreciate. Again, this isn't going to be the last time that I have you on here. But before we wrap everything up, let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, you can find me on Instagram, elton.garner. or you can type in EC Garner on Instagram and EC Garner on Facebook. I'm there. I'm willing to talk to you about business, whether you're structuring your business, whether you know what, want to know what comes next, how to, things like that. I'm always willing to, help out fellow people. This is something I do not charge for. So if you really, want to know about how to get your finances right, I will not charge you for that. Knowledge is free. If you want to know how to start your business, I will not charge you for that. Knowledge is free. If you want to know what you're doing wrong in your business, holla at me. I will not charge you because knowledge is free. So, again, EC Garner, Instagram, EC Garner on Facebook. You look up those and you can find me.
All right. Again, thank you. Thank you for being on here. You can find me at The Melanated Veteran on Facebook and IG. And don't forget to check the website out at www.themelanatedveteran.com. I am your host, Miss Mesha, signing off, saying embrace what makes you, you.